I'm wearing a dress, it's not zipping, and I need to do my makeup. And I feel like, I don't know, should I? Anyway, this is a really, really cute dress. I think I should do my makeup and then I should go find my neighbor and then he zips me up. But like, why am I asking him when he has a wife? I don't want for there to be a misunderstanding. But I also feel very passionate about this outfit. So I don't know. Also, I was just fitting this dress. I was not intending to wear it. Now I feel like it's too much work to take it off. But I also don't want makeup to spill on it. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
A few moments later.
I changed the dress and I'm now rethinking the whole thing. The outfit and my decision to wear that dress, hoping my neighbor would zip it up, because yeah, that would have been really weird. We don't know each other like that, and he would have probably thought I'm flirting with him, or would have been really inappropriate, or he would have just told his wife, and then now it was gonna seem like I'm being fake kind when she comes around and all of that. Just a lot of things that I can just do without. So I'm gonna change the outfit, but now I need to do my makeup. Before I begin, I just want to say I'm not a makeup artist. If you have an urge to tell me that I'm doing something wrong, I highly recommend that you don't. I've been following JKIN for 6 years and I still do my makeup like this. Partly because of laziness, also because I really couldn't be bothered much about getting my makeup to the level that you think I should be getting it at. So yeah, let me do what I do and then let's get on to the video, and welcome. As I get older, I keep getting disappointed at how much our relationships depend on money. Every aspect of the relationships that we have today are some sort of a market with profitability at its core. So what do I mean about that? If you think about it, every relationship that we have, or every relationship that I'm aware of on my personal perspective, depends very much on money and how much followers someone has, how much studying they've done, which university they went to, what car do they drive, and how many likes they get on their pictures. You know, those things. It's insane, but if you really think about it, and you're watching this on YouTube, so you should know at least some ounce of this, that especially the influencer girls, not even especially the influencer girls, everyone, but I'll make an example with the influencer girls. Most of them, I've heard most of them complain about how if you don't have so and so many followers, you just would not sit at their table. And others, you know, with the American ones, especially when they would do those houses where they live together, and you know, when the drama comes out and people are explaining, they would start talking about, well, when I met him, he only had 100k followers, and then I made him have 500k or 1 million followers. You see? So it's not just the influencer cycle, right? Even in our personal lives, parents and people want to associate with people that can elevate their bank balance. If you're not going to increase someone's economic standard, you're not seen as someone that is worth anyone's time. So what happens when you exist in a space where the people that you're with are of the same economic standard? Let's say you're all students, or you're all just entering the job market, or you're like me. I have friends that are students, and I have friends that are entering the job market, and I have friends that have been working for 10, 15, 20 years. And as you can imagine, it's a very interesting place to be, because I have friends that are really, really, really broke, and I have friends that are really, really doing well. I'm applying a primer, but I feel like I'm applying it like, you remember when your parents were applying Vaseline to you in the morning before school, and they would just, ouch, that hurts. But that's how they did it. I feel like I'm doing it that way. Anyway, welcome to capitalism, where people feel like they cannot relax and form genuine relationships because they feel like they're missing out on the opportunity to become millionaires. Now you're living in a capitalist society and you are working so hard to make this much money. And here's the interesting thing as well. People that are working, most people that are working are not even trying to become millionaires. They're just trying to make a living. They want to be able to afford their lives and to afford to take their children to school and to just not suffer. But hustle culture and capitalism gives us the impression that if you work really, 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 really hard, you're going to become the next Elon Musk or you're going to become Petrus Motsepe. But the thing about millionaires and billionaires and extremely rich people is that most of the time, it's because they were unethical. They became that rich because they did not care about human rights, or they did not care about workplace safety issues and all of those things. Or some of them are just really privileged. They come from money and they are raised and, allowed them to be the people that they are. So within a capitalist society that we live in, you find people working extremely, extremely hard to make a living. Beyond making a living, they're now of the view that if I push more, then I'm going to become a millionaire or a billionaire, which is far from the truth. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm just going to proceed with it. So now we're in this capitalist society where it's push culture. Keep pushing. You're working long hours, and even after working that many hours, you're still unable to make that much money. So you find people not wanting to form relationships that are not going to help them make more money. People view relationships as a waste of time. When they are not a waste of time, they are a waste of money. Time is money, right? When you have to interact with people, you have to spend money. And don't think that is a lie, because for the most part, in today's age, it's very difficult to have a conversation with a friend without spending money, like a genuine conversation. People these days dislike calls. They don't want that. And texts just don't do it. Sometimes texts just don't convey the message well. I know there's people that communicate well via text, but sometimes you just want to hear someone's voice and just feel their vibe to, gauge how they're feeling. But people are busy. Sometimes you have to even schedule calls. When you schedule calls, you don't have time to speak about how you're feeling. You have to catch up. How have you been? How has your boyfriend been? What happened? Da 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 da. And sometimes you don't get the time to just really feel the person and feel their vibe and feel how the world or the year has had a toll on them. How the year has had a toll on them. So when you eventually okay, let's do lunch, the lunch would happen in 2 months or 3 months or maybe once a year. Yeah, the lunch would happen only once a year, or maybe in 3 months, or once in 3 months, or once. It's rare that you'd meet once a month because you're working, the other one is studying, or you're both working, or the other is traveling. And here's the thing about the lunches that must happen. They cost money. And sometimes people don't want to show up to the lunch because I don't have money or I don't have an outfit. You see what capitalism does? Now, instead of just wanting to spend genuine time with your friend, you're worried that, oh my God, I don't like that restaurant, it's too expensive. Or I don't even have the money to get there. I don't have money for an Uber. Or I don't have money for the lunch itself. And sometimes you're even afraid to let the friend know that, look, man, I'm really in a bad place, because you haven't seen them in a long time. So you come up with a lie that will just get you out of the whole situation. And then now you don't go to the lunch, and then you don't catch up with your friend. But here's the thing as well about the lunch. Who said that we must only have catch-ups through lunch? Well, I love lunch. I'm always hungry, by the way. I love lunch, but I'm noticing how most of the time I would not want to hang out with someone because I would not know the setting in which the hangout would happen. In a normal sense, a friend could just come over and we just chill at my house and I'd cook, or we just drink or whatever, or we just chill, come over, let's chill. There's no food, I'm broke, or I'm eating noodles. That's the best that I can give your friend. I'm really under the weather money-wise. But people don't do that. In fact, I know people that are friends but don't know where the other person lives. And because they're always meeting outside, they're always at restaurants and at clubs and whatever. And I feel like this contributes to people not wanting to socialize and wanting to make friends because it just costs money. Every time you want to meet up with someone, you make it seem like it has. And if, in fact, let me stop saying you. The culture around catching up and making friends these days is surrounded around taking people out and spending money. And I know that I dread making new friends because I really don't want to be spending money. Okay, let me explain it this way. I don't want to have to go to lunch with someone that I don't know. Maybe let's say we met on social media. They're like, oh my God, I like your vibe. Let's do tea soon. And it's a good move. Obviously, they can't say, come to my house, let's have a sleepover or whatever. But I begin to dread the process of having to show up in this way that would meet the expectations of capitalism. Am I stretching it? I feel like I'm stretching it. I'm stretching it too far. How should I explain this? So I feel like making new friends is a lot of effort because I would have to meet them outside for a long time. Like we'd have to do like 5 dates at a restaurant before I'm like, you can come to my house. But why does it also have to be the restaurant? It could be the library. I like reading. And if I meet a friend that likes reading, I could say, hey, you want to go check out books at the library and we could catch a snack after, or just things that would not make me feel like I have to have a lot of money in my bank account just to have the company of someone. Because I do feel like we're missing out on genuine interactions because of the money aspect to friendships. And I'm specifically speaking on friendships because over the last few months, I've been reflecting on my own friendships a lot. In fact, a friend of mine in July, I was with her in her kid. She was like, my kid turned 1 and you've not even gotten her a gift yet. And I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. And I did feel bad. But the other thing is that about 6-7 people around me have given birth in the last year or 2. And I genuinely feel so overwhelmed by feeling like I don't have the money for all the kids. But why must I have money for all the kids? You get what I mean? I love the children. They are, oh my goodness, they are the sweetest things ever. But I feel like I'm failing as a friend and as an aunt to them because I haven't bought them the latest gear or the latest sweet thing that babies need these days. And I was even saying to one of my friends this in around March, a friend of ours was pregnant and I was saying, I feel so bad that I'm gonna be so close to this baby because the friend lives closer to me and I'm not close to your babies. My other 2 friends have babies. The babies are so old, they're like in primary school now. I was like, I feel bad that I would be in close proximity with this kid and it's gonna seem like I'm spending a lot of time with them or I'm doting on them more when it's just really that their mother lives closer to me than the rest of you. And they were like, no, that's ridiculous. But that's what capitalism does, right? It isolates people. My friends are now scattered. They're there and there and there pursuing their goals and everything. And the only way that I feel you could genuinely show up would be by sending money. Sometimes when people are said, you just want them to have money because capitalism is just draining the life out of people. And especially when they have newborns as well, you don't want to add to the burden of, how are you? How's the baby? Every time you guys talk. Now the conversation is just always about the baby. And even if they say, I'm so overwhelmed, everything is so expensive, you can't chip in and say, hey man, don't worry about this month. I've got the nappies covered, because you're also just trying your best to survive under the system. And I feel that when you don't buy gifts for their babies, they start thinking that, oh, she's changed. Now that we can't do lunches, she had money when we were doing lunch and everything. But now that I have a baby, she cannot, support me or buy something for my baby. And I don't know. I'm thinking a lot about how the money aspect affects my relationships and my friendships in particular. And I'm hoping to reach a place where, obviously, all of us want to get to a place where we can afford the things that we aspire for and to also afford the lives of our people. You want to be able to show up to the party with a nice gift, and you don't want your friend to feel like they should be going to the extremes to get money when you're there. But the honest truth of the matter is that in this current economic climate, everyone is just really not doing well, which affects our relationships, it affects our sex drives. Not my sex drive, but like generally speaking, even, okay, I said I was not going to align this with men, but most of the time, even the sex that you engage into, if you really think about it, you know, when you take money out of the sex, what happens? Are you turned on? Are you having sex with people that you really want to have sex with, or you are having sex with them because they are maintaining your economic status of sorts, or they are sustaining you in a way, or you see? So that's a different conversation in total. Different conversation. I feel like I like the feeling of this now. I no longer know what I'm doing. I saw a tweet the other day where someone was asking, what do you think our parents got right that we're failing miserably at? And someone said community. And I agree. I think we need to go back to making community what it is. Community must be community. And although social media and these spaces can be a community in a different alternative element, I think the core meaning of community in real life or in your surroundings should be prioritized. There's a girl that has been getting bullied on Twitter. She's a TikToker and she's like 2021. And you know, social media has community standards, right? Community standards. And where they say no bullying, no racial stuff, no racist stuff, no, you know, sexism, stuff like that. But I find that the community standards generally don't gel well because of how everyone's background is so different. You know, when you're around your town or you're around your village, and those people are your people, and the community standards within an enclosed area are usually the same. But when you get onto social media and you have everyone's beliefs and everyone's, you know, just Facebook, for an example, is trying to create one community standard for Facebook, taking into cognizance everyone's religion and everyone's race and. But it's not an easy thing to achieve, as some of you have seen. So you have this girl who's a TikToker who has done very well for herself, I must say. She has also now gotten into YouTube, and I saw that she has like 80k subscribers in such a short time. So proud of him. But people don't like her. They started saying they don't like her because of the boyfriend. They started saying they don't like her because she's a bully and whatever. But what I noted with the way that people were calling her out is that they were not even calling her out to build her. They were not saying, hey man, no, you don't do that. Especially because she's so young, right? It's a Twitter community. You see how differently the community is in real life versus on social media. This is a person that's a TikToker, like I said, has a lot of followers on TikTok, many followers. It could be like 400,000, I think. Those people are people that have followed her and liked her videos and have told her, look man, I'm your fan. And then she comes out with mesh and people just are like, no, we're not buying that. It's too expensive and it's ugly. Cool. People have preferences. And then she gets bullied for the boyfriend, and then she cries and and then she gets bullied for something else. I'm saying bullying because I don't think the way that they were saying things were in a way to reprimand her or anything. But this is a girl who's 2021. She's literally grown up on social media. Her life has existed both in a normal community where social media did not exist, and a community where social media is a core. It's at the core of her identity. She has made friends through social media and has made a fan base that I'm sure she has felt to a certain extent was everything to her. And these are the people that were going to ride and die for her. And of course, some people are still riding and dying for her. But I can imagine the devastation of her realizing that that community on TikTok and that community on YouTube could not do much about what Twitter was doing to her and her brand. And we speak of community. We need to reflect. I feel like I use reflect a lot. But yeah, let's just make reflections on what community is. And beyond our social media personas, I think we need to leave our phones sometimes and just interact with people in real life and aim to form relationships with people that exist outside of how many comments they've left on our posts and how many likes they've left on our pictures. I think once you are able to do that, you won't be as affected as we tend to get when social media turns its back on us, because it's about them. It's the marketplace. Remember, when you don't deliver what the audience wants, it will always just turn its back on you. And even when you're wrong, I feel like there is ways to reprimand people in a way that would happen in a family, in a community, close-knit community, or in a town, or in a state, a country. But when it's on social media, there's no rules and there's no laws. The community standards don't do much to protect people. And when you have lived your life as this social media person who's not even validation, but whose life has been so closely related to producing content and getting praise for it, when social media no longer thanks you and treats you like this icon, it hits you hard, because sometimes maybe you don't even have friends that are not on social media. So I wonder how we got here. Yes. How did we get here? Okay. In conclusion, I think that another thing that we must do is just to have a genuine conversation about money with the people that we love. If you're aiming to have a friend or a partner or whatever, you should just let them know, look, hey man, this is my economic situation, but I'd really like to hang out with you, and this is how I would like to get the most out of your time, and let me know if that works for you. I think that can enable people to not have high expectations of you. People will not be sending you invites to really expensive hotels and all of those things, and then now it's gonna seem like you're always declining when they're inviting you, and then they stop inviting you when you could have just told them that you don't have money for these vacations and these hotels. And another thing, I think we should schedule calls. I used to do it last year with a friend of mine, and then capitalism came into our relationship. You know yourself. She got a new job. Now she has no time. You see what capitalism... Anyway, still love him. We still call each other maybe once in 2 weeks now, but we would call every week, and we'd make it a point on Tuesdays after work. It's us on the call for an hour. So I think also scheduling time to communicate with people that you love. Also let them know that you're expecting them to communicate with you. I almost dropped my camera. So I think that's going to benefit our relationships greatly. Let us just attempt to do that. I will try next year, because the way my schedule is looking this year, I don't want to be seen as a liar. But next year, I really want to do better by my friendships. Also, I like this concealer. I think another thing that could benefit us would be to know that we're not all going to become millionaires and billionaires. Once we start thinking realistically in that way, we will start trying so hard, because capitalism is saying, as long as you work hard, you're gonna be a millionaire tomorrow, I promise. It reminds me of this picture that I saw when I was in school. I think I was in grade 10 or grade 9. It's a picture of two men digging for diamond. One is digging ferociously. He is working at it. He's digging and digging, and he's very far from the diamond. One dug so much that he's just merely 50 meters from the diamond, and he gave up. And when I was looking at a picture, I was like, keep digging. Don't give up. Oh my God, this guy, you've worked so hard. Keep digging, right? Keep digging. Capitalism is saying, keep digging. Come on, you've gotten one promotion in 10 years. Keep digging. You're closer than you think. Keep digging. But the honest truth of the matter is that the digging just keeps making someone else richer. I think if we get to a point where we start to accept that the system, the way that it's built, it's not built to make many billionaires or make many millionaires. We should merely attempt to survive within this very, very brutal system. And once we start trying to survive, we're going to prioritize the relationships that, build us and nurture us, and things that we really enjoy. We all know we like spending time with family. We like spending time with our friends. We like getting drunk. We like all of those nice things that make you believe in life again. When you've worked so hard and you finally hang out with your friend and you're just laughing until your belly hurts, those types of situations. I think we need to prioritize those more, because the honest truth of the matter is that we're not going to make as much money as we think we are. And by the way, I'm an African, hey? Africans are some of the hardest working people that I know. And most of us are still very poor, still living below the poverty line. And most African states are beyond functional. They are just really, really beyond functional. What am I saying? Most African states are barely most African states are barely working, are barely surviving, are barely maintaining their people. And you may think, oh my God, Africans are so corrupt. Oh my God. You know, when people that don't live in Africa speak of Africans, they make it seem like we had an opportunity at gold and we just let someone steal it. But the truth of the matter is that there's people that are benefiting at our hard work and at our poverty. And the sooner we realize that, look, man, we're playing a game that we're probably not going to win. We're going to win this game by just uniting and sticking together and enforcing values amongst ourselves that keep us as a close-knitted community. And I think once we do that, we start appreciating each other more, we start loving each other more, we start loving our countries more, we start loving our villages more, our towns more. And what does that mean? It means that now, instead of working at this big individual goal of becoming a millionaire or billionaire, you start wanting to create with your community and you can protect it together. Because when you're, what am I talking about? Anyway, when you are divided, when you are divided and you're just working at many things and this one is trying to survive and that one is trying to survive and you're not creating relationships that are worth fighting for, that is where capitalism thrives. This is where the video has gotten, hey? This is where the video has gotten. I'm deeply affected by money. Money is affecting my relationships and my friendships, and I'm hoping for a better year next year where I don't chase the bag and I'm chasing the feelings, you know. I just want to be surrounded by really nice vibes and nice people and just very genuine, simple moments that won't make me feel like I need to work hard for. I don't need to have money to get hugged, you know. You just want a hug, dude. Why must I wait 2 months to just get a hug from my friend, you know? So yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and comment and whatever you may feel like doing. Bye.